Thanks for joining us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Limdacker, and taking a look at some of the top stories that we are following right now. Demanding change and taking action, some Metro Atlanta students walked out of their schools today and straight to the state capitol. It's all in a push for stricter gun laws following the Apalachee High School shooting 2 weeks ago. Sarah Hammond met those students there, and she has more on what they had to say.
A group of 30 Atlanta students walked out of class and into the state capitol Thursday morning. Their goal, asking their lawmakers for stricter gun laws in Georgia.
We keep asking the adults to do something about this. They can hear us, but they will not listen.
This group of elementary and middle schoolers from the Morgan Oliver School gathered before lawmakers just 2 weeks after the deadly Apalachee High School shooting that left 4 people dead. 14-year-old Colt Gray and his father Colin Gray are both facing multiple charges.
Nobody should have ever died, and nobody should have ever got a gun for a kid. He was only 14.
Their march today coincides with a bipartisan Senate subcommittee meeting to discuss possible safe gun storage laws. Lawmakers had their second meeting on the topic the day after the Apalachee High School shooting. Democratic Senator Emanuel Jones chairs that committee and says he is impressed by these young voices.
We need this kind of energy and excitement so that those of us that work in this building we can hear their voices.
Jared Humphreys with the school says after an age-appropriate discussion about what happened in Barrow County, the kids came up with an action plan all on their own.
What we hope happens is that these lawmakers take the concerns of these kids seriously.
And the Apalachee School shooting suspect, as well as his father and their lawyers, have just been ordered not to contact one of the victims. We obtained a new restraining order, which details the victim has clearly expressed no contact from any of the accused or their counsel as the case unfolds. The father and son are each charged in this tragic Apalachee High School shooting. The 14-year-old faces 4 counts of felony murder. His father, Colin Gray, charged with involuntary manslaughter, second-degree murder, and cruelty to children. Investigators say he allowed his son to access the gun used in that shooting. And also today, parents of a teenager shot and killed inside Apalachee High School are preparing to say their final goodbye. The viewing for 14-year-old Christian Angulo is scheduled for tonight. Mourners will gather inside St. Matthew Catholic Church in Winder, the viewing beginning at 8 o'clock. Angulo's funeral is tomorrow morning at that same location. Two Metro elementary schools facing closure and happening tonight. Parents are planning to pack a Fulton County School Board meeting to voice their opposition. Atlanta News First Don Shipman is with the First Alert Breaking News Tracker at the South Learning Center in Union City, where a lot of parents are planning to show up tonight.
Right now, 351 students attend Park Lane Elementary, a modest-looking school nestled in East Point's River Park neighborhood. But on trend nationally, the district projects enrollment at the elementary school to continue to drop in the coming years, falling well below Fulton County's benchmark of 450 students. All 4 of Sabrina Clark's children attended Park Lane.
It's going to be very inconvenient for the parents in the neighborhood.
It's not just parents who worry. An East Point property investor who didn't want to go on camera wants to know what the county plans to do with the vacant building if the board votes in favor of closure.
So why not think about a new way?
The mayor of East Point is concerned as well. She noted the importance of a school like Park Lane, which specializes in helping children with disabilities. She questions the district's decision-making process.
Moving forward, they should really focus on serving the needs of the community and really making schools that meet those needs. So does that mean building smaller schools? They could. Why is it that there's only one model?
The community will get an opportunity to voice their opposition to the potential closure at tonight's Fulton County School Board meeting. Parents say they will be there.
Now they have to worry about, changing bus routes or whatever in order to get them to the closest school, wherever, they're going to reroute them or whatever school they're going to join with.
Vice President Kamala Harris will be back in Atlanta tomorrow, and abortion rights are expected to be her focus. The visit comes on the heels of a viral article from nonprofit news outlet ProPublica. The report says the deaths of 2 pregnant Georgia women could have been prevented if doctors were able to provide unrestricted abortion-related medical care. Atlanta News First reporter Abby Casores looks at what could happen next.
ProPublica reports that the state agency tasked with reviewing maternal deaths found that the deaths of at least 2 Georgia women were preventable. Shawana Moore says after more than a decade in women's health care, the state's 6-week abortion ban, with few exceptions, goes against everything she learned in medical school.
And it's really disheartening and heartbreaking as a healthcare professional.
ProPublica talked with the family of Candy Miller, one of the women who died. A mother of 3, they report doctors told her another pregnancy could kill her. She ordered abortion pills online, but there were complications. She needed a procedure to clear tissue from her uterus and stave off sepsis. She was bedridden and in extreme pain before she died. Family told the coroner she was afraid to visit a doctor because of Georgia's anti-abortion laws.
So I truly believe we'll hear about more stories for many years to come because of the overturn of Roe v. Wade.
This comes after the overturn of Roe, which led way for states to pass legislation like Georgia's Life Act, one of the most restrictive laws in the nation. Here, doctors could face felony charges and a decade in prison if they perform a procedure after a heartbeat is detected.
This is a completely new landscape when it comes to providing reproductive health care, including abortion care.
Governor Brian Kemp defending Georgia's Life Act, saying it not only expanded support for expectant mothers, but also established clear exceptions, including providing necessary care in the event of a medical emergency, citing guidance from the state's Department of Public Health sent to medical providers. On Wednesday, presidential candidate Kamala Harris announced a visit to Atlanta, campaigning on the issue of abortion access.
You guys may have heard the story, many here, about the stories about the horrendous, most recent stories about what happened in Georgia. Many of these Trump abortion bans that make no exception for rape or incest, it's immoral.
Senator and vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance said in an interview on Sunday that both he and the former president do not support a federal abortion ban. They want abortion limits to be set by the states. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Casores.
Returning to DeKalb County, where the school district employees are saying they haven't gotten their paychecks on time or in full. The district's latest letter to employees states pending payroll issues will be resolved by September 30th, which includes back pay for what's owed and checks that were actually never received. And Atlanta News First spoke with a district employee and has a lot more.
This is the latest letter sent to DeKalb County School District employees. In that letter, the district says it will have all payroll issues resolved by September 30th. That includes back pay of what's owed and checks that were never received. Atlanta News First spoke with a district employee who asked to remain anonymous.
September 15th was supposed to be when we got the step increase. I did not get that. That was not reflected in my check. It was also short a significant amount of money because of some, code that's been on our checks.
She says the late and inconsistent payments are affecting her livelihood.
So it's very hard to budget. It's very hard to know if I can afford to pay all my bills. And, I've been having to move money from my savings to cover things.
District officials say the errors are due to a new payroll system. Deborah Jones, president of DeKalb Educators Organization, says employees have continued to get the runaround about their paychecks. She says Superintendent Devon Horton's memo advised employees not to come down to the district.
He sent something out on Friday, said don't come down to the district. We got this. I mean, how do you say that when people don't have their money? And then how do you ask them to wait until the end of the month?
Jones says she doesn't believe the issues will be resolved by the end of the month.
What if the money's not there? What if the people decide they're not going to work anymore without being paid? What's your plan then? You don't have enough people to cover all of it.
Brittany Ford, Atlanta News First.
And this softball game in Cartersville is by a group of men swinging for the record books and also for a good cause. Atlanta News First reporter Josh Skinner has the story.
How much do you love softball? The 40 men at Dellinger Park in Cartersville are quite passionate.
So if you're going to do something, go ahead and do something nobody else has ever done.
Organized by Bruce Deal, the players are attempting to set a Guinness World Record for the longest softball game ever played.
The record's 115 hours officially, 120 unofficially. We're going 121 hours.
There are a lot of rules.
Batters out! That's 2!
You can only take 5-minute bathroom breaks. You can only take 5-minute showers.
Also, eating when you can, sneaking in a snooze, a quick pop from your local chiropractor, and maybe just being a bit on the crazy side.
Lake. Jake.
Lake and Jake.
Lake and Jake. Lake and Jake. That's it.
Are y'all like a sitcom duo?
We could be. It's like, that's crazy.
We just become best friends.
But all this is swinging for something deeper than the fences, raising awareness about sex trafficking.
Too many people in America don't believe it's our issue.
That's why Deal founded MOST, Men Opposing Sex Trafficking.
99% of buyers of sex are men. 95% of traffickers are men.
And why women who escaped sex trafficking are taking shifts cheering them on.
We need a hit, so we can run.
Trying to combat good versus evil and disrupt that balance and do some good in the world. And if we can do it by playing softball, it's a pretty good way to do it, I guess.
So as the innings and runs pile up and physical limits are tested, these batters are stepping up to the plate for a team bigger than the one on the field.
Anti-trafficking, softball, break a world record.
Only working 8 hours, Joshua Skinner.
I gotta go hit.
Take it off.
All right.
Take it off.
Go hit, Jake.
Go hit.
Make us proud.
Atlanta News First.
More on that and all of our top stories on AtlantaNewsFirst.com or also by downloading our free app where you can get updates sent right to your phone. Thanks for joining us.